Good morning, Scopers. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Let's see who's coming in. Mitch! Oh my God, I'm so excited. You caught me live. How fun to have you here. Hello, everyone. My name is Shirley Joy Weiss, and I am a spiritual counselor and soul purpose activating coach here to help you stay on your path and do what you know you're here to do. And Ananda's back. Hi, beautiful woman. So great to have you here. And I am excited about this topic because this is a good one. So I'm going to just dive right in today. Thank you for the hearts. And I am just getting started on Periscope. Hi, Alicia. So lovely to see you. I'm just picturing your face, which has such a great vibe because I've seen you on here. So I look forward to seeing some of your scopes soon. And I am just getting started on Periscope. So if you like what you hear and you feel like sharing it, so I can get out to more people and connect to more people, only if you feel it. That is awesome as well. And so let's just dive right in. Hi. This is such a good topic because I feel this is such a trick of the mind that stops so many of us. You're welcome. It stops so many of us, not only, thank you, Ananda, you're awesome. It stops so many of us, not only on our service path, on our spiritual path, on, our path as entrepreneurs. It really stops all of us, period. This is not just for entrepreneurs and change makers. This is a message for all of us. This little trick of the mind is what keeps us feeling bad, questioning ourselves. And that's questioning ourselves whether like, oh, am I doing the right thing? Should I really be an entrepreneur? Should I really be a trailblazer or a change maker? Or should I be going to grad school? Or should I be with this man? Or, whoever, right? And thank you. So what is this trick of the mind? Well, first, I want to just point out kind of what happens. Have you ever noticed that one day you're feeling super on fire, super alive, super excited, super on purpose, right? And you're just like, yes, let's go. And it seems like things are lining up and you're like, yeah. And you're fired up and you're sharing on Facebook and you're sharing with people and you're having amazing sessions with clients if that's the work you do, or you're just feeling alive. You're walking down the street and you're smiling at people and it's great. And then the next day you wake up in a funk. And the next day, suddenly you're low energy. And suddenly just kind of things are going wrong and off, right? We've all been there. So I'm feeling those hearts because I know that means you're feeling me. And the next day, suddenly it feels like I've lost it. And oh my God, what happened? I thought I had gotten somewhere. I thought I had finally reached a certain spiritual level. Not even I have finally arrived business-wise or something like that, or I have finally arrived in a romance. Oh no, I finally reached a certain level of enlightenment. What happened? I must have lost it. Oh my God. And suddenly you start questioning yourself. And you start thinking, what's wrong with me? I have to go meditate more clearly, or I have to go try harder, or I have to hire a coach, or I have to try harder, or I have to do something more and more and more to improve myself. Have any of you ever felt that way? Like that ping pong match where one day you're feeling great and the next day you're like, oh, right? Sometimes it even happens within the same hour, right? Like 1 hour you're like, woohoo! And the next hour you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? So I want us to just take a moment and slow that down. To just realize that's what happens. And it happens to all of us. So rather than continuing in that hamster wheel of buying into that process that we think we've arrived when we feel good and judging ourselves when we feel bad, yes, awesome. You will be able to catch the replay. So rather than going on in that hamster wheel, let's wake up to what's happening and realize that's just like the nature of human design. That one day the thoughts in our head are high and make us feel good because our feelings are always a reflection of our thoughts. Neurobiology has proven that. the biochemical response to thinking. Feelings are not that romantic. You know, you're feeling love, it's called oxytocin. You're feeling fear, you're having fear thoughts. And so thought happens. Thought happens. It's the nature of the human machine. So rather than getting lost in thought and thinking that when I'm feeling and thinking good, I've arrived and that means something about myself, and when I'm not, that means something about myself, let's just wake up to the process so that we can be more gentle with ourselves first and foremost. And secondly, so that we can stop making meaning, because that's one of the biggest errors we start to make in not understanding that that's just what happens. You know, we have thought happens, and it means nothing about us. It's like a temporary, fleeting thing moving through our consciousness. It's the nature of a human machine. We have thought. The problem isn't thought. The problem isn't negative thought, nothing. The problem is when we make meaning out of it. The problem is when we take it personal. The problem is that when we're feeling funky, we say, oh, I lost it. There must be something wrong with me. And then we start questioning ourselves. I'm feeling it too. Thank you. And so I want more than anything for all of us to just wake up from that. Because if we start making meaning out of it, we're just adding thought on top of thought. And we're only going to feel worse. And we're only going to get further away from our true pure self, because beyond all that thinking, that's fleeting. Have you noticed it always passes? The hardest moments in your life, anyone on the scope right now that's live, the hardest moments in your life, did they not pass? But when you were in those moments, you were just like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. It felt like it was not going to pass. And also the best moments in your life, they all pass too. The greatest, highest peak experiences. So if we just realize that it's all fleeting and cyclical, and just start being beautiful observers that play in it, and don't take it personal when there's a negative thought, then we can start becoming deliberate creators. Then we can start moving from a higher source. And so the moment we stop making meaning when I'm looking for proof, you know, our ego looks for proof. Our ego fundamentally feels not good enough, so it's always looking for proof. It's looking for proof of how I've arrived spiritually, of how I've arrived business-wise. And so the moment it finds any sense of proof that I haven't arrived because, you know, it's a little quiet today on the business front, or my husband is like shy in his man cave today, and so it must mean something about me. That's what the ego does. That's how the ego tricks us. But the ego is always just looking for proof of itself. So the moment we stop that and stop making meaning of the thoughts in our head and stop making meaning of what is or isn't happening, we can then direct our attention to something else. So let's break this into like a really practical way. So you're having a funky day. You're having a funky day and it seems like crickets are happening in your love life or in your business life, whatever it is. Stop taking it personal. Realize that all that's really happening is that you're having thoughts about these experiences, and these thoughts are making you feel funky. It's your meaning that's making you feel funky, and you can just as easily redirect your attention to something else. You can easily just put on your favorite pop song. Pop songs, I'm not a huge pop music fan, but pop songs have this great ability to just like, right? And snap you out of it, right? And you're suddenly dancing. That just goes to show that everything's fleeting, and we can play with our experience, and our experience is only ever created by what we're putting our attention on. So if I'm putting on my attention on finding proof of how I'm wrong and how clearly I haven't made it and I have to try harder, that's how I'm going to feel. I'm going to feel incomplete. So I stop that. I stop that. I stop that. And I catch myself, whoops, I did it again. Whoops, I tried to make meaning out of the fact that it's kind of a quiet day on the business front. Am I doing this because I need to get something out of it? No, that's my ego. I'm just doing this because my heart is feeling excited to do this. I'm just doing this because I'm here to play. So let me just deviate my attention to something else. Let me stop making meaning out of this. Let me stop saying, oh my God, there's crickets, so that must mean there's something wrong with me or I need to do something more. Let me just put my attention somewhere else, on a pop song, on your breath. In the moment. That's my favorite, most powerful one. Hi, welcome. That's my favorite one. Because in the moment, the unknown, rather than my thinking, can inform me. And then I can remember why I'm really here. To just play, to experience, to share abundantly, to love. And then my thinking might want to pull me back and say, hey, no, but see, nothing's happening. And I'm like, oh, I hear you. That means nothing about me. It's just thought. And I remember to not take it personal. Thank you for the hearts, honey. I'm going to come back. And the more we come back, the more we become aware of this, the easier to become, and the more we'll catch ourselves. Oh, there I am again, believing my thinking, buying into the thoughts in my head. You do not have to buy into the thoughts in your head. You do not have to take it personal. So that is my tip for the day. Stop taking it personal. Stop believing in the thoughts in your head. Yes, very, very true. Oh my God, if I believed the thoughts in my head, and I did for so many years, and I have $100,000 debt in education because I thought I needed to become more. When I woke up to these truths, you know what I really woke up to? To the fact that the greatest teacher and source of wisdom is inside of me, and it comes through spontaneously in the moment. And I rarely pull on all the amazing skills and theories that I learned in transpersonal psychology school and energy medicine school and all the yada yada schools that I took. In the moment, we have all the wisdom and beauty that we need. And it's just about not believing the thoughts and getting caught up in those thoughts and coming back to the moment. So yeah, let's stop believing together. So that's my message from the day. Don't believe your thinking. You didn't fall back. You didn't lose it just because you're having an off day. There's nowhere you have to go. And the more time we spend here, the more time this is what's going to come through us, and this will be our experience, the joy, the bliss, the wholeness. And that's the paradigm shift that's happening. And that's what's going to make us the amazing leaders that we feel in our hearts we're meant to be, when we're moving from our true essence, our wholeness. And then just our being is a vehicle of change. And that's whether we are moms or entrepreneurs or trailblazers. So my mission is to help us all come back to this place, to get out of our thinking and come back to this place. So stop believing in your thinking. Next time you start questioning yourself, you're like, oh, it's just thinking. I can just let it pass. And if it doesn't pass right away, you know it will. As I said earlier, notice it always passes. So that's my scope for the day. Is there any questions or anything? Anyone else online? Any thoughts, ideas? Love to start interacting with you, beautiful women and men. All right, so good to connect with all of you again. I'm sending you the biggest hug, and thank you for the hearts. I feel it. I just love the hearts because I know we're connecting, and that's what that means. And so I'm sending you hearts back. I love you all. Connect with me on Facebook, Shirley Joy Weiss, shirleyjoyweiss.com. Jeannie Dreams joined. We have a similar style of speaking. What's your website? I'd love to check it out and connect. Yes, absolutely. It's shirleyjoyweiss.com, and that's Shirley without an E. And I'd love to connect with you. Please send me an email, and I'm on Facebook and Instagram as well. I know we're vibing already, so let's definitely connect one-on-one, and anyone else, feel free to reach out. Sending you all the biggest hug. Share the replay as well if you choose, and we'll talk soon. Bye.